Hello and welcome to DC Figures and Collectibles. We hope that you're surviving the coronavirus. I am Tyler G of Batman Figs on Instagram as well as Batman TAS Figs on YouTube. And I am joined, as always, by my co-host all the way from Stoke-on-Trent, England. And you can find him on Instagram at the.batfan. And his name is Scott. Scott, how you doing?
Hello, everybody listening who is in solitary isolation at the moment. You can sit back and enjoy a couple of hours worth of podcasting with Tyler and me. And yeah, I'm doing good, thank you. Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm learning that toilet paper is about to be just as good as gold.
Yeah,
it's going to be like the new currency. And bread.
Yeah.
Good thing I got a few loaves frozen in the freezer. I actually acted and got a bunch of, like a couple of weeks ago, I acted on this thinking it was a joke, but it's actually really serious now.
Why is it people always go to bread and milk? Like, I two most boring things you go for. Way better than that. You can do more than that.
I also got tortillas, just in case I want to spice things up.
You see, that is a good alternative.
Well, you're surviving though? No signs of sickness?
No, not at the moment. Not at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, all good over here. How's the US doing? I haven't really seen much of the US coverage.
We've got a few people in California. I think up to 7 people just in my area that have it.
Wow.
So it's starting to spread everywhere.
Yeah.
If you go to any aisle where I live right now, if you go to the water aisle or the toilet paper aisle, it's cleaned out.
Oh, brilliant. Unlike the multiverse aisle, which is stacked full of toys.
Yes, if only they were stacked full of new toys, like the golden Wonder Woman. I'd love to see her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, last time we spoke, you were getting ready to do this weekend theme, the Superpowers weekend theme. And I was commenting on how much I love this and used the accessory well. And this was 1 of 5.
Mm-hmm.
And the next one was this one. You don't do these much, but when you do, they're awesome.
Thank you. That's really kind. Yeah,
CW.
Yeah, don't do many CW pictures, but felt that those 4 were worthy of this theme for sure. Especially like the Supergirl, and I love the Monitor figure as well. 2 of the best. The Flash figure is absolutely crap. I'm not going to lie, but yeah, and the Atom's good figure as well. Actually, the Atom's good figure.
He actually does look like a really cool figure. And I also love the accessory of the glowing computer.
Yes, yeah. It's tricky, putting that quite close to the camera because it blurs it all, but man should just change the aperture a bit and it works.
Oh, that's weird. Well, speaking of superpowers, you don't get much more superpower than these 4.
Yeah, definitely. I love the colours that these 4 have. Because I don't know, they just stand out really nicely. The Mezco and Mafex figures do, and they look fantastic, and they scale pretty nicely as well. Cyborg maybe a little bit on the short side, but the rest of them scale perfectly. And I just hope we get to see them all again on screen together.
Is this in your garage?
It is, yes, it is. And to clear all the recycling boxes to one side and make some space. But yeah. Just put some music on and listen to that, and then did the picture in the garage. It was good fun, if freezing.
I like the little accessories, and it does look like it's the underground portion of that. So, I mean, even though it's a garage, it looks like it fits in perfectly.
Cheers, man.
This is right up your alley. I'm sure this wasn't a tough one to take.
It is. I had to put some Justice League animated stuff in there, so I started rewatching the series again last week, and I had to put those in there. Just put some of my favourite superpowered heroes in there. I mean, Supergirl. I absolutely love Supergirl in the animated series. She's brilliant. Plays a fantastic part in the whole Cadmus story arc, and the rest of the figures are just some of my favourites from that line. So, yeah.
Yeah, that Martian Manhunter doesn't get enough love, but it's a beautifully done figure.
Oh, he's outstanding. Yeah, absolutely outstanding figure. It really is.
And then a nice Easter egg to a nice little Easter egg in and of itself from the end of the Crisis crossover, and a lot of people were loving this one.
I got him for a good price on eBay and thought it would be a decent chance. I'd done this picture. I wasn't going to use it for the theme, but I thought, do you know what? I'm going to just put it in for the theme because it kind of works for it, doesn't it, a little bit? So. I think it's
Oh,
pretty
heck
cool what
yeah.
it's pretty cool what they did with John Diggle in the series. I don't really watch the Arrowverse at all, but just having read some stuff and sort of researched about it, I think it's quite cool how they use him.
Yeah,
And yeah,
he's very much like a Batman the animated series Harley Quinn or Renee Montoya, where he was made for the show, and now he's like an integral
Yeah.
part of the history.
That's a
Even
good
so much
point.
that the fans want to make him a Green Lantern, which hopefully he's in the show, the Green Lantern one coming up.
I heard something about his in-law's name being Stuart or something like that. That's
I hope so. Now, this is a very traditional thing for toy photographers every month.
Absolutely.
We like to tag our buddies and fellow photographers in the whatever month and whatever year fave toy photos hashtag. And this is, we never really talked about it in the show, but since this is here, I figured it's a good opportunity and to show a little something of our community, and also just again tag on some of my favorite photos that you shot selfishly. And again,
Thank you.
just this, it's so simple, but it's so freaking awesome looking, and just all the accessories you did for it and everything. This Rorschach and Batman picture is
Thank you.
one of my favorite, and also a figure that no one has but everyone wishes they had, the Batman Returns NECA style that you have the custom. Just freaking brilliant.
Listen, it means the world. It really does, because trying to really up my game with photography lately and to just try and do some different stuff. I mean, you look at those, there's only 2 pictures with the same figures in, which is quite nice and a purposeful move to try and mix things up a little bit. So, but I say it's weird, you know, when you look back, and you probably do the same, because I'll have a look at yours later. But when you sort of take stock of everything and look back on the month, like the support that people give is just amazing. Like looking back at the you know, some of the comments and stuff, it's fantastic, and really do appreciate it.
Yeah, and it's I hope that you understand we appreciate it as well. Even as a fellow photographer, I love seeing different people's take, and just seeing what you put out every month is just one of the joys of being a follower on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then I accidentally hit it down, but you can never not talk about this. And you said that you've been watching it a lot lately.
Yeah, I watched the night I posted it. I was watching the Joker. Yeah, it's just so good, isn't it? It's just unreal. I mean, everything about that movie, I think, is pretty much perfect. Yeah, phenomenal movie, phenomenal performance from
the Trash Strike.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I really want to do that, like a picture of just massive trash piles everywhere. Might have to have a go.
So you're gonna buy a lot of Marvel Legends then?
Yeah, absolutely. All the repaints of the McFarlane DC stuff. Yeah.
Now this you showed off a little bit before, but man, this looks just like it's factory made, and this is one of your favorite Batman Beyond villains.
It is, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Shriek. I think he's an absolutely phenomenal custom of 37 Customs who made this figure. Go and check him out. You can ask for commissions and stuff like that, which is what I did. And yeah, I think it's an absolutely outstanding figure. There's a few more shots to come of him, and one of which for our next theme, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, it's an absolutely epic figure, and he knocks out of the park. So yeah, absolutely love him. It's fantastic.
And that's not to be underrated, because that 37 Customs not only made a beautiful figure, but you reached out and he delivered. And a lot of times you see people post, "Oh, don't go to this guy, he's a scam. Don't go to this guy, just take their money." So 37 Customs, he's a good guy. He actually makes the figure makes it look good.
Yeah.
And
I've seen a lot of that. I've seen a lot about that lately. A lot of scammers on Instagram, which we definitely need to chat about.
And this is another Hot Toys figure, right?
It is indeed, yeah. It is indeed. So this one a while ago, but sort of, it's one of them where, like, when I take pictures of the Hot Toys Batman, I take like 3 or 4 in a night, and then I'll just stagger them out over a little while. But that was one of them.
I feel like we'll see another one of him unmasked.
You may well do.
This guy, it's always cool to see him, and he fits in perfectly with the Batman universe.
Yeah, fits in quite nice, doesn't he? Scale-wise, perfect. Design-wise, perfect as well, with the animated sort of block colour style. I love that wild card figure.
This is an all McFarlane picture.
It is, yeah, the first ever all McFarlane picture that I've done.
And this is a beautifully done ice effects with the Batmobile that's rare, as well as a figure that's hard to find, if you will find it at all.
Yeah, I love the Vito's Batman. Absolutely love it. It was one of my all-time favourite figures. 100% in the top 10 of my all-time favourites. And went out this morning to take some pictures of him very early.
Ooh,
in
outside?
Indeed, yeah, and the morning fog. Doing a bit of atmosphere aerosol experiments, and yeah, it was okay. I'll have to upload the picture soon.
That could be epic.
There we
A
go.
group shot.
Inspired by the start of the series, that one, when the Imperium comes to blot out the sun and live in darkness in the whole world. Secret Origins. Yeah, I mean, just how can you not be inspired by that episode? It's brilliant, and I mean, people sort of think, oh, you have to introduce these characters one by one. They need their own background story. Watch that animated series, and yeah, it's definitely not true.
They each need an origin movie.
Yeah, it's just
a love interest.
life's too short to bore us all with origin movies and then have to combine things. These DC characters, everybody knows who they are.
And this was done. This is rare to see this guy at all, but to see it photographed on your new camera and everything just really highlights all the details on this guy.
Cheers, man. Yeah, this is a weird picture. So I disassembled my computer to do this. I did a picture a few weeks before of Batman Beyond in front of the PC. It is. And that's with the plastic grid on. So I just took the plastic grid off that and behind it is the picture that you see with Black Manta. So
it looks really good. It looks like it's in a submarine.
Nice one. Yeah, I was searching for ages of backgrounds of like an inside of a submarine and couldn't find anything whatsoever. But I'm actually a little bit sort of I don't know what the right word is, but it's just strange, a bit coincidental that I've been doing loads of Aquaman pictures lately. So I brought the Aquaman movie yesterday. Finally, I haven't bought it for ages. It was only $5, so I bought that, and going to rewatch that at some point. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of Aquaman movie pictures this week, or trying to at least anyway.
Are you going to do one? Do you have a Mera figure?
No, unfortunately not, which was really frustrating. Although I've got the Justice League War mirror, I think the animated one. I have done a picture of her and Aquaman, inspired by the Enemy Below animated series episode. But I'm going to get the Mafex mirror. I've decided I was going to get the Shazam, but I can't be arsed with it now because that movie didn't really mean that much to me, so I can't be arsed with that. But I'm going to get the mirror 100% just to go with the Mezco Aquaman.
Are you going to have a picture of her pooping on Johnny Depp's bed?
That would be an interesting idea, wouldn't it?
I've been thinking about doing it with my Mera figure. It'd just be fun.
That's an interesting idea.
That's funny, too, that you say about Shazam you can't be bothered, because I found the whole Shazam family, except for Shazam, like the whole supporting cast at Five Below. I could have got the whole thing. Just like, that doesn't mean that much to me.
No, it really doesn't. No, it doesn't. And so this is the sort of example. So I've had the Doctor Savannah figure for ages, and I was going to save it. To use it with the Mafex Shazam. I just don't know how to buy him, like 70 quid. I'm only going to use him for a few pictures. So instead, I've decided to head over to good old friend eBay, and I brought, just on about them. Then the Justice League War figures. I brought the Shazam figure from that movie for like 20 quid. So, and he's the same scale as the Savannah figure, so I can use him to fight against him. And it's just a cheap alternative, and he's a great figure. He'll fit in with my animated series figures as well, so it's pretty versatile.
Well, you are the king of finding a versatile figure in which it will fit in with many lines. So I think that's a good idea.
It was AKA stingy as the the code word.
Hey, it's better than being broke.
I love it to death, man. Like I almost enjoyed the whole eBay scrapping for a good price and trying to find a really cool old figure. I almost enjoy that as much as toy photography. Like genuinely, I love it. Absolutely love it. I've been genuinely serious. I believe trying to research and find these older figures, because all the new stuff, everybody gets it, and everyone like completely bombards you with pictures of it. I like to go back to the older stuff and do some pictures of those, because no one or most people haven't seen them, so I want to show those pictures off, especially the old DC Direct stuff back when they used to make brilliant figures, and some of the old like DC Universe classic stuff, like this guy, for example. Just some of the old stuff. Really enjoy. For people listening, it's the Dark Knight Returns Batman figure, the exclusive one. Amazing figure. Picked him up for like 20 quid on eBay. One of the best buys that I've ever done.
I have to agree. There's a lot more detail too in those older figures. Like just seem to
Really
care
is.
more.
Yeah, and better accessories as well.
And now they just want to rush them out, get their money, go on to the next one.
Yeah, and everything's so mass produced that like quality is just completely lost sometimes with things, which is a shame.
Yes, I think the heyday of being crappy was the Mattel Suicide Squad wave. That was the heyday of crap.
That is so true. It is so true. And like some of the waves before that, like just saying Dark Knight Returns wave, I think that was their best wave they ever did. And 2 waves later or 3 waves later, we've got Suicide Squad figures that are just terrible. Like, how far could they have fallen from that, and how it's so disappointing and really, really strange.
Well, something that isn't strange is you're making a Mezco figure look good. And you actually have 2 Mezco figures up here.
With my with my photography, that is strange that it's making them look good, because I don't photograph Mezco that often, although I'm trying to change that. But
well, this figure, this Batman tactical one, it looks absolutely killer, and I think a lot of people are going to regret not getting this figure because just looks really good.
He is a cool looking figure. I mean, articulation's not the best, but he is brilliant, and the details are fantastic. It's just a shame about the cape. Don't like the cape on it. I wish they'd gone for the BBS cape. But and then the Superman is one of the best Superman figures ever made. Quite simply, he's just unreal. Absolutely fantastic. And I don't, you see a lot of people, with like the sort of Henry Cavill head sculpt that they change it for, like the custom one. I've seen a lot of people do it. To me, it doesn't anything like him. I think the Mezco one's the best. I don't think these new head sculpts people are using look anything like him. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I just don't think they look good at all.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that head sculpt.
Yeah, and the skin colour looks off as well, compared to his hands when you change the head sculpts. So it doesn't look quite right.
Alternate shot.
Yeah, this was it's the same sort of pose. I think Catwoman's pose is slightly different, but a completely different sort of setup around them. So I've like the dioramas moved, the big main pillar that's holding the roof on, just some of the trash cans and stuff like that around it, just move that. It was a decision between those two and I couldn't decide, so I thought I'll just keep both of them and upload one later. But yeah, I think the consensus was this one was slightly better, and they were probably right, because the other one wasn't the best.
I really like that Batman figure. Just the suit and everything looks amazing.
Arkham Knight Batman looks so cool. Like it's because like the shininess. It's the same with the Hot Toys one. The shininess of the paint just like hits the light hits it beautifully.
A little Kingdom Come, a little custom.
Yeah, thanks to Kevin of that Renke Customs for the brilliant paint job on the side of the hair. It looks amazing. And I simply had to take advantage of the snow a few weeks ago to do a picture of Superman. I mean, that just probably shows how long I keep pictures before uploading them to stagger them out.
It looks like he's on the farm.
Yeah, I purposely got the house in that's next door to us to make sure it looks like the Kansas house.
And this is just... It's probably just like the top 3 best looking animated figures for Justice League.
Yeah, you're probably right. Another Secret Origins picture. I've done this one a few times, but I just love photographing these 3. I think the colour contrast between them is so nice. They look brilliant, like colour-wise. It's fantastic.
I like this little touch of the Batarang.
Yes. Had to give Batman a little accessory in there.
And Wonder Woman's lasso.
That was stolen from the Greg Capullo designer figure, so I ripped the lasso off her, trimmed down the side of it, and then just glued it onto it because the colour's perfect for Wonder Woman's waistband. It fits in perfectly. So
Yeah, sorry, Wonder Woman, Grey Capullo.
Yeah, very sorry.
This one got a lot of love, and I also like that you finally showed off that straight jacket.
Yeah, it was about time, wasn't it? I mean, that was the ultimate drag-out picture. And using some more extreme sets as promised as well. And it's good to see they've got their account back, by the way, on a side note. Because their account got hacked and they've now got it back.
Oh my gosh.
Fantastic.
That's weird because mine's been trying to get hacked. I've been getting emails saying that people are trying to reset my password. So I'm like, wow.
No, it's ridiculous. People are just ridiculous, they really are. But yes, so glad to see that they've got their account back. And I've seen he's working on some new stuff as well, which is quite exciting.
Furniture, right? Furniture's finally arrived?
Yeah, some furniture. And I saw the GCP, the Office tease as well, which looks quite cool. But a few people in this one threw a bit of shade at Jensen Ackles, which I quite enjoyed. Troy Baker or Jensen Ackles. So Jensen Ackles did the voice of Red Hood in Under the Red Hood, and Troy Baker did the Red Hood voice in Arkham Knight. And I'd go for Troy Baker any day of the week. I think he's one of the most talented voice actors I've ever seen. Like, I think he's up there with Conroy and Hamill because his versatility is ridiculous. Like, the amount of great voices he does. Like, he does Two-Face, he does Arkham Knight, he's done Joker, he's done Batman as well in the Batman versus Ninja Turtles movie. Like, he's done so many different roles, but he does them brilliantly. It's just incredible.
And well, thankfully, he's a Batman actor, not a Marvel actor.
Yeah, it's like, sometimes when you hear, you can sort of tell it's that guy putting on an accent. He just sounds completely different though in everyone, which is just fantastic.
This one's talking about completely different. Just the way different lighting hits this figure, I feel like it has different facial features and stuff like that. And here it looks like it has a little bemused smirk about to start. So I just like the way the different lighting can make this figure look. Yeah,
well, that's all credit to Action Figure Customs and that Vin Faith custom, and then the who did the painting and the casting of the head sculpts, and then GP slot for the suit, which is a Gomez suit, but I put it to better use than a Gomez figure. Yeah, used it on.
But you do own a Gomez memorabilia item.
That's incredibly disappointing, but
yeah. Another custom.
Yeah, so this is from I want to make sure I get the right website. It's from 16thkit.com. A fantastic site with loads of manipul head sculpts on there, so go and check that out. 16 scale and 112. But yeah, this head sculpt is an unreal one, and I've also got the shrunken down version that Vin Faith custom painted for me as well.
Oh wow!
So yeah, it's an absolutely amazing head sculpt. Looks perfect on him. It's great accuracy and the details amazing. Yeah, had to do the
looks
Nightfall
like a cutscene.
Had to do the Nightfall picture. It's obligatory.
Boy, yeah, this is so majestic looking. Oh, what could have been? What could have been?
What could have and should have been.
That's a great looking jacket, though.
Yeah, again, that's from 16th Kit. So big thanks to them. The custom Nightmare jacket. Yeah. Oh,
it's so good looking.
And
yet
another shout to Vin Faith and Action Figure Customs for that head. It's my favourite by far. It's one of them where I thought, I'll pick that up. Yeah, I'll see if it looks good, and don't think much of it. And then you get it, and it's easily my favourite one now. Of all the head sculpts that they've done. Bit of grey
little grey ghost. Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. Another thing you can't go wrong with, and I really like these thugs. That's the first thing I noticed. These are awesome.
Yeah, they're from the Fortnite games. I can't remember what they're called.
Okay.
But yeah, they're from the Fortnite games. And when I saw them, I was like, oh wow, they look like the militia, like the Arkham Knight militia. So it's like, I'm gonna get a couple of those.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a couple of them. There's a few more figures as well from Fortnite that I want to get, but I'm not gonna get them until they reduce in price a little bit because they're perfect for some Batman baddies.
Shoot, I need to get those. Those look sweet.
I love that.
Awesome use of this accessory.
Yeah, so I've been selling off a few figures lately. I sold the Batman that came with that set, but kept all the diorama pieces, of course. sold the Young Justice Batman and kept all the pieces to it. And that smoke bomb is just so cool. It's perfect. Lovely as a kryptonite bomb.
Also love the palette, the use of the light.
I'm really unsure of whether to keep these two guys, the Batman and the Superman, because I love the new Storm ones, and the scale is just much better. That new Storm Collectibles Injustice Superman looks just so good.
I don't know. That Batman looks really cool.
The Batman looks great. Yeah, I'm also unsure about whether to pick up some of the Injustice Storm stuff. I'm not getting the Bane because he's boring. Everyone else has ruined it. Unfortunately, the Doomsday I'm not really bothered about, but like the Dark Side looks good. But then I got quite a few Dark Side figures, and you can't. If you've got a Dark Side figure, you have to use this guy, the Mexico one. So I may look into getting the Lobo, maybe, but it's just expensive, man. It's like $94 for a figure. That
you might have to just go the build a fig.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true.
Now this one is another very cool all Joker shot, basically all clown shot.
Yeah.
This is mainly from the first game, I believe.
It is.
Well, at least the Joker.
It is, yeah. So all of them are from the first game, aside from the Batman and Mr. Hammer. The Joker Thug, I guess, you could argue is an Arkham City Thug, really, but it's just a Joker Thug. So, yeah, Mr. Hammer from the Arkham City game, and then he used just for the better articulation on this picture, he used the Arkham City super articulated Batman. He's got one of the best head sculpts I've ever seen. To be honest, the head sculpt's amazing on that one. So when the new McFarlane one comes out, I might put that head sculpt on him if it looks better.
I love the first quote I'll see. I'll never let you win.
Yes, perfect. He always comes with great quotes. 01.fisher.chris. Yeah, he always comes up with some fantastic quotes.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, no, he really does. I need to employ him as a quotation person for
a quote writer.
Yeah, an author. You can be the author for my account.
Now, any way we could get the theme of this weekend?
Yeah, the theme that we're doing next, tomorrow, as we're recording this, is a new figure.
That's a great category.
It's a shameless excuse to make sure we're not wasting any money.
Hey, you gotta do it.
Absolutely.
Plus, it'll be cool to see all that new stuff you got showing up.
Oh, that's so true. Yeah. And talking.
You also got a story shout out by Phil Lamar.
Oh man, that was crazy. Yeah. Phil
that guy loves your page. He's been liking your pics.
Man, he's an awesome guy, Phil Lamar. He really is, and he's a true sort of ambassador for the sort of voice over community, if that's a community. But yeah, I think he's brilliant. Phil Lamar's a great guy. Susan Eisenberg's fantastic as well. And then people like Kevin Conroy on Twitter as well. I know he doesn't have Instagram, but he's amazing on Twitter as well. He's always engaging with people, which is great. And even Mark Hamill, to be fair. Oh man, yeah. It'd be so cool if he had Instagram. I'd love that if he did.
But Mark Hamill's not just doing political stuff. He's enjoyable.
Yeah, that's true, actually. I did unfollow him on Instagram because I just got bored of seeing all these political messages, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I don't go on Instagram to see politics.
I know, yeah. He's a joker. He doesn't get involved in politics. He's an anarchist. He doesn't care.
Yeah, come on. Be in the role. Be a method actor.
Oh, it's so true. And talking of role models, here we go. It's the Grey Ghost. And I really, really love this picture that you did. Look at that Batman shadow. It's great.
A little foreshadowing. Dun, dun, dun.
Yes, it absolutely is. It absolutely is. Yeah, that's a magnificent picture, that one.
Thank you.
There's it looking through as well. Talon picture.
Ah, yes. Can't wait to get the animated version of him. I hope his head moves.
I hope his head moves, and I hope rather against what is probably going to happen that they don't have the ab crunch on, but never mind. That's probably going to happen. Yeah,
they probably will.
Which is a shame, but yeah, it's a terrific figure, that one from Greg Capullo.
You have multiple of them, right?
I got 2 of them. Yeah, I got 2 of them.
Nice.
Both of which the swords broke off the back. I don't know if yours has as well.
My knives did. They broke.
But this was what you uploaded to sort of show off our last podcast, and we were talking about it on air and off air about the collar. It looks perfect.
Thank you. Yeah, it's an old shadow figure. Someone you actually commented on. They knew what it was. They commented on it slyly.
Nice.
Yeah,
it looks absolutely fantastic.
It did end up looking good, and hopefully the new Batman's collar isn't that hot. It would be cool.
I love how Alfred's probably having to strain to see around the collar.
Yeah, it's like the disco era in Nightwing.
It's so true. This is a great use of those bat wings, by the way, for the McFarlane figure. It's a fantastic use of them. Yeah,
because DC Collectibles are direct. They wouldn't give us a glider, so I had to come up with a makeshift one with Photoshop.
It works really well for the Heart of Steel episode.
That's a Deathstroke bow staff, just in its 3 parts from the Icons figures.
Oh, okay. Hey, that's a great idea. That's a great figure as well. That's super rare these days, that Icon figure.
Yes.
So I
miss those days.
Been watching Joker this week, and this was brilliant.
I got that idea because I saw Todd Phillips release a few pictures of behind the scenes, and there's a photo that looked like this in black and white. I was like, oh, that'd be funny to do. When they had
I love how those feet lend themselves to posing perfectly as well.
Oh, they do.
Massive, it's brilliant. It's like you're probably finding it. You've thought the new McFarlane, the Superman, and also the Batman. Like they're so easy to pose the hell back. That is, I mean, they're so easy to pose because of the massive feet, so they can stand up in virtually any position, which is great.
Yeah, a few people said they don't like the big feet or the clunky feet, especially on backers. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all.
I think that probably for collectors it'd be a little annoying, but for toy photography it's perfect.
That helps me.
Yeah, it's just the animated ones that are a pain. But I really like that. Fantastic picture, and also this one.
Yes, in my monthly photos.
Monthly pictures. Oh.
My Harley.
Yeah, this is brilliant.
Wish we had a real one like that.
Could you imagine? That'd be great. This is personally my favourite. I love this picture a lot.
Thank you.
That's poster worthy. It's fantastic. My house keeps doing that. Batgirl as well. This is a great shot as well. Flash to the future.
Thank you.
Seeing that Soap Studio Flash, 99 quid. I'm very tempted, which is deeply annoying because my wallet can't afford that.
It's one of their better ones, that Flash.
Yeah, it's a fantastic figure. And the Batmobile, I'm glad you put the Batmobile picture in there because the Batmobile picture was brilliant.
I might have to do some more photos of that because I'm starting to like it.
And we've got the Vendetta figure, which brings us right up to almost current day, which is this picture.
I love that figure so much. And that movie.
Yeah, it's fantastic, that one.
I took some inspiration from you because you always have great accessories, and sometimes you print them out, and sometimes you get them with kits. And this one I decided to print out after finding a good image. So to make it more movie-like, and so I had to get this because I was watching that movie recently. It's just so good, and especially with the recent coronavirus outbreak, this movie is even scarier because it's so true to the times.
Yeah, we need Vendetta to come out.
That would be creepy, but I would love it.
Very, very creepy. Very, very creepy indeed. So this picture that you've done a couple of Wonder Woman lately.
Yes, and I have to get especially after seeing the new McFarlane one, and we talked about it when we did our Toy Fair coverage, especially with the original one. It just seems so hard for companies to find get the correct likeness to Gal Gadot. So I have to give credit to Beast Kingdom because this is actually one of the better likenesses, I think. Yeah.
I think the best one is that SH Figure Arts by quite a way, actually. The Mezco one's decent. It kind of resembles it, but it's not perfect. But I think the Figure Arts one is great.
Yeah. You got that one. I should take I need to take more pictures of that, actually.
She's brilliant. And then the Essentials... Cheetah, which is one of the better figures they've done from that line. I think her and Red Hood, I think they're two of the best ones.
Easily. And I wonder if we're going to see pretty soon what the Cheetah's going to look like from the movie. I'm very interested to see.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it's kind of like the Black Mask thing, isn't it? Where we didn't find out till last minute. I think it's going to be a similar situation, which is quite interesting. But yeah, so moving into the animated universe now. This was a fantastic picture.
I had to get I had to use the McFarlane one because I felt bad. I hadn't used that guy in a while. I was like, what? I bought him. I need to use them.
Yeah.
I forgot the Harley, so they're in the same universe.
Yeah,
the vehicle scaled decently.
And do you know what? I actually think it scales pretty perfectly because it is, like, compared to the 6-inch figures, it is a bit massive, isn't it? Sometimes I don't know if it's accurate or not because I haven't really paid much attention to it, but it just seems overly huge. I've done a picture of the Batmobile for like over a year now just because I think it's too massive and cumbersome. And,
it is.
Yeah.
It is humongous.
Yeah,
that one I took. Huge. It's been raining in California, at least overcast sometimes, so I figured I'd take advantage of that lighting.
It looks great. I love the details on Batman, and the handcuffs fit perfect as well for that scale.
Yeah, I was gonna go with the Robin ones because they have the bat silhouette, but it's way too tiny. Way too tiny. Look comical.
That stick wrist. Here we go. The What Is Reality picture. It's an episode we recently reviewed on our last. I believe it was our last episode, wasn't it? The What Is Reality? Not last episode, one before. But yeah, it's perfect shot for that.
And I wanted to I figured I did a lot of the part where they're in the VR, so I was like, okay, let's do the ending where they find Riddler. So I did that.
Yeah,
plus,
I love the What Is Reality ones. I can remember last time the picture of Commissioner Gordon that you did, which is just so perfect.
Yes. I was tempted to use that one again because I just like how it looks just like the cover, but no.
We've both been having a bit of Black Manta and Aquaman love this week.
Yes. I figured I'd use that guy too because the blonde classic one never gets enough love.
No,
the new tough, cool bro one gets a lot of love, but
poor
classic.
I know that. Yeah, it is true. That is, and that's the Icons figure, right? That Aquaman.
Yes, and the Manta's DC Direct when they're in their heyday.
Yeah, and you can tell because that figure's amazing. I love the detail you put around the eyes as well. I always found that really difficult to get the eyes to light up.
To get a little mist
in pictures. Yeah.
I had to use Photoshop or GIMP for that to get it right.
Brilliant.
Thank you. Glad you think so.
That's a ready set as well, isn't it?
Yes, and that's the laboratory one or the space one.
As is this.
Yes, and I had to get in a Cyborg too. I feel like I don't use those Beast Kingdom ones enough, but they have great.
Yeah, that Flash looks perfect.
I mean, they just did him so well, the Cyborg, and I wish that he got another chance at Cyborg. I feel bad that he doesn't get to play him anymore.
It is kind of sad, and that he didn't really get the justice that he deserved, did he, in that movie? Because they had so much. I think he had the most scenes cut than anybody, didn't he?
With his mom and playing football.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know we're saying they don't need an origin story in that, but that would have been brilliant to see.
Especially since he was supposed to be the heart of the movie, and because he's like part of the mother box, and he's supposed to be able to know the technology, so it makes sense. It's not like they forced it.
Yeah, and to tie it all in with like the Nightmare universe and stuff.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
So these two were seriously underused in that movie.
Maybe Flash will bring him back in his movie if we're lucky.
Yeah, hope so. Definitely hope so. And we got an Almost Gotten picture as well, which definitely have to talk about because I love all the pictures people do for Almost Gotten. Like, I know Simon's done some great pictures. Simon's even done an Arkham one. I can remember back in the day when I first started, an Arkham Almost Gotten, which is great.
I did a Dark Knight trilogy version of it.
Yes, I do remember that. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And then seen Batman the Articulated series has done it. I've recently done it. Everyone's loving the Almost Gotten stuff at the moment. It's great.
It just happened to line up with my series, and I figured I'd do this because I have the overcoat with the Soap Studios Harry Potter figure.
Yes.
And the hat is a Rorschach hat, and she basically wears that outfit. So I was like, okay, I'll do this since it's also a nice little verbal jab she gives at Harvey, and that's also a nice
Yeah.
reference to the first time we see him.
Harvey's expression's perfect as well. He does not look impressed. Does not look one bit impressed with that. And then speaking of impressed, you did a couple of pictures of this guy, and this being the second one as well. Absolutely love that shot. I mean, the shadow is just brilliant.
And that was a happy accident.
No, that looks fantastic. I really enjoy that. I found that hard to believe that's an accident.
Oh well, I put it out there, and I was just gonna try to get a cool picture of him in the dark, but it happened to work out where it backlit him like that, and it gave the shadow. So I was like, okay, sweet. The big happy accident was the car that went by and it got the light rays because of the long exposure. But I picked this one, but first because I feel like just that gives that lonely essence, and just more of a Batman vibe. Like, okay, end of the night, everyone's asleep, go back to home. But then the other one just looks so cool with the lighting. So
yeah, it does. I love the sky and the sort of red lights in the background. So
I was gonna Photoshop Flash into that where it looked like he's running, but I was like, nah, I just like how it looks.
Oh man, you should have a go of it and upload another one. That'd be brilliant.
I'll try
I'd love to see that.
I'll try.
No, I should do it, man. I'd love to see that. Or Flash chasing reverse Flash because they're yellow.
Oh,
yellow and the red. That would be cool. Yeah, I managed to have a go at that.
Batman's like, I'm not going to get involved.
I was just like, yeah, I'm too old for that. Can't be bothered. Let me know if Darkseid's around. I'll fight him instead.
Yeah, I might have to do that.
Yeah, I should do that. That'd be pretty cool. And also, you did another street shot. Where is it now? I've forgotten past it. It's the one
the tear in the sky.
Oh, there it is. Right, above it.
Oh, that.
I really like this picture.
Yeah, and that one I'd done a few pictures of this, but I never did the one where he almost got attacked and Batman thought that he was involved. So
I love that. It's great. We recently reviewed that episode. Really enjoyable.
Yes, I finally crossed over into the episodes that we were covering.
Yeah, that happened, didn't it, yesterday? And I was like, yes. I can't wait to review this episode. But I imagine it's a nightmare for you to think of a couple of different ideas.
Oh yes, it helps creatively.
Especially for this episode that we're going to review today, it's tricky because it's not got a real sort of, I don't know, the characters for it are quite limited again. There's no real sort of main villain, so to speak. But
I am the Night.
Yeah. But so have you picked up any new plastic over the last week?
I've been hunting, and I could have picked up some new plastic, and I saw the new Arrow figure from McFarlane.
Oh, I did see that, yeah, in your story, yeah.
And after looking at the face and everything, I just wasn't impressed with the face sculpt. It just wasn't. I mean, I would like it just because it's an updated suit. It's brand new. It's like the final suit he wears before he's gone. Spoiler. And I just couldn't pull the trigger. But
yeah, I think the Soap Studios one's too good, to be honest.
Yeah, I did see the armored Superman, and at Walmart he is $20. So don't buy him at GameStop. It's like $26 plus tax, $30. So if you are gonna get one of those big boys, get them at Walmart or somewhere cheap like Amazon. At GameStop, I did see, and this is weird, the Raptor. I saw the Batman Raptor or the Batmobile, whatever you want to call it, and that's just $30. So I didn't raise that at all at GameStop, and that was actually felt heavy, and it felt like it was real metal, at least in some parts, and I just couldn't do it because I just don't like the way. Why a Raptor? Why is he sitting like that? Like
it's a strange thing. I mean, it's okay, but yeah, it's a bit weird. But the armor of Superman's great. I can't think of too many ideas of pictures for him, but he just does look very cool.
And I do like that what you showed, that his wings are articulated fully. That's really cool.
Yeah, he is a great looking figure. He needs an enemy to fight against. It's a bit boring putting him against Darkseid all the time. He needs a cool enemy. If I got like a massive Luthor
Brainiac.
Or Brainiac, yeah.
Massive Brainiac.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see him fight against those, but maybe even the Lobo. No, no, to be honest, no, not really. The only thing I'm waiting on is that Shazam figure. I actually did buy Volko as well. I got it for a good deal on eBay, so yeah, got Volko, and Yeah, that's about it for me. Though nothing very exciting, to be honest.
Have you been hunting it up? Have you gone to any stores and looked at anything?
But I looked around. Yeah, I had a look at some of the new McFarlane stuff, and to be honest, I can't really be bothered with it at the moment. I'm just waiting for the new stuff because I think it's like knowing the
That's why I've been
Wonder
going out
Woman.
hunting.
Yeah, it's like knowing the Wonder Woman's coming out, and then they got the Arkham Asylum wave, and probably the White Knight of Batman. I'll probably get that. I think it just looks so good, and I've pre-ordered the Mezco Mister Freeze as well. He looks outstanding, I gotta say.
So you got some plastic on deck.
Yeah, some stuff on pre-order, so to speak.
And that's why I've been out recently, because I've been hoping that I've been able to see the Wonder Woman or maybe a Harley Quinn, and that's another thing I saw. It's on the back of the box.
Yeah,
we know that it was probably in production,
Weird.
but do you think that the movie bombed so bad that they just stopped making it?
perhaps
I
so, yeah.
I feel like there's an audience out there. Like, there's a lot of teenage girls that love Harley Quinn.
It's true, yeah. I mean, I probably will get the figure arts version of it.
Yeah.
Unless Mayflex come up with something, but yeah, it's very strange. I can't say I'd buy it, but it's very strange that they've just sort of advertised it, kind of, and then not bothered with it. It's very weird. I don't like to say, but it's very Mattel-esque, which is not good.
Or DC Collectibles.
Yeah, very DC Collectibles. Yeah,
Yeah,
but they changed now. I think.
Are you interested at all in the Bat Raptor? Maybe if like the price goes down, or just can't be bothered.
It'd have to be super cheap, wouldn't it? Like probably half price to get it. Are you the same?
Yeah, I mean, maybe if I saw it on Amazon, but I mean, it would just be me forcing myself to take pictures of it, and that's never something good creatively.
Exactly. It would be quite boring as well, wouldn't it? All you do is just pictures of him standing by it or pictures of him on it driving, and it wouldn't be, yeah.
Because everyone involved hates it. Like, I'm not enjoying it. Everyone else be like, oh, another picture of the Batman.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But other than that, like I told you, I went to Five Below, and I could have got all the Shazam family, but can't be bothered because, again, forcing. I could just think of one picture. It'd be just like a Justice League style, everyone in a line.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's true. That's about it. You can't really do much else because
I mean, you put them at different locations, the carnival, outside, I don't know. But they're out there, so if you are looking for those, you can go to Five Below, they're there. And I also saw some Black Series Star Wars figures there for cheap, $5, decent. Pre-orders are available at GameStop if you're looking for like the gold Wonder Woman and all that. But in terms of what other content we got, we're going to be covering I Am the Knight, but we also got question and answers. So what do you want to do first?
Shall we do the episode review? Save the questions for later. I'm excited.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's get
to the episode.
Plus, force people to listen to the episode.
Yeah, we know what we're doing here.
We are pros. And the episode tonight, or today, or whatever you're listening, is I Am the Knight. Yeah. So hopefully you're also listening at night. But it is an episode that, in terms, what do you think when you think of it?
Do you know what? I really like this episode. I feel like we've probably talked about this one quite a lot. And it's very sort of relatable, I think, in everyday life. This episode, I think, everyone goes through the struggles and stuff, and with mental health these days being massive, I think it's quite a very sort of modern day episode, which is brilliant, and it's also fun to see Batman being at one with his own sort of I don't know if mortality is too big a word, but he's just sort of questioning himself a little bit and has that sort of douse. But yeah, I think it's a great episode, this one. I really do enjoy it.
Yeah, in this episode, there is not really a Batman enemy, but almost the enemy is himself in this one.
It is, yeah.
Like he's fighting his internal conflict. And what I first think of when I think of this episode is, at first, your Eye on the Night is like, oh, does he say the phrase or that sort of thing? But I don't know if the title really has too much to do with it. I always feel like there's a disconnect between the title and the episode itself, because it just
it's like
starts
a
off
quote, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
It's just like a sort of, I don't know.
Do they say it in the episode
we'll
at all?
think of. I don't think so. No, I think we'll say something cool sounding for this episode. We don't have a title because they can't really call it the Jazz Man.
The Jazz Man plays his hand, or Depressed Batman. You can't really call it
or Gordon Down or something.
Gordon Down, that would be funny.
Or Bullish Bullock.
Bullish Bullock. I would take any of those, to be honest. But I mean, this episode, like you said, it's very relatable, and right away we see it's on the anniversary of the death of Batman's parents. So at least we don't have to see it; he just tells it to us.
Yeah,
or it's told to us. We see a very depressed-looking Batman, and he's sitting even away from like the Batcave and everything. He's kind of off in his own corner. And Alfred comes up and he's like, "Sir, you haven't eaten or slept in a long time." And Batman gets deep on him right away and says, "A broken body can be dealt with, but a broken spirit, that's something else." And right away you see the mindset of Bruce or Batman.
Yeah,
he is done. It just seems like right away.
And it's kind of like compounded by like the Penguin being overturned, like conviction, and I love that. I know we've talked about this before, about that part of the cave that we only get to see in this one episode. I think that's brilliant. The way that they do that, and they sort of exaggerate it by showing loads of pictures of the cave going past, and then they kind of end up this little bit of the cave where he's sat. It just shows how secluded he is, and a little bit of a symbol of his mind as well, which I think is quite interesting and pretty cool how they did that.
That's true. And I also feel like in Batman media, like in The Dark Knight Returns, they show a little glimpse of maybe this spot where it's like, oh, that's where he goes and gets his strength. Or I feel like he has it's always known that he has the spot, but we rarely get to see it.
Yeah. So. Like this episode, it was directed by Boyd Kirkland as well, and he doesn't get anywhere near the credit that he deserves for these things. Like Paul Dini and Bruce Timm mop up all the credit for the stuff, but Boyd Kirkland did a great job with all of his episodes in this series. So, but he did a cracking job. He really did.
Like, what you said too about the Penguin getting out. It's like right after Batman says this stuff, he looks at the paper and just like, oh, again. And then he says he can put him away, but they just keep coming back and just repeats itself. And I mean, that kind of could be like work. Like, oh, I go to work every day and I clean up, and no matter what, it just gets trashed again. Or no matter, it's like you can really relate to anything.
Wouldn't it be cool if Birds of a Feather was the episode before that episode? Like, what a reality in the middle. So it's literally
that would be
follow on. That'd be pretty
that
cool.
Would be. That actually is brilliant.
And then we know the DCA using continuation, so it probably does mean that the conviction that he got for that. It's like we all know it's a continuation, like even from the early days with like the Cadmus stuff and Milo. But yes, anyway, so Batman then sort of, I don't know, this bit's a bit weird. Is it a memory, this bit, when he goes out? And it probably is, isn't it? Where he's sort of remembering what's happened. A guy is out on the streets asking for change, saying, "Oh, it works every time." Asking for people change for the bus in inverted commas. And we then cut to a scene where we see Bullock and Commissioner Gordon with the GCPD ready to do a sort of a sting on the Jazzman and his hideout in his warehouse. And Bullock, of course, as he always is desperate to go in and find the Jazzman. Bullock likes to hog the collar, as the police like to say. Bullock enjoys that. He calls Batman a glory hog, but I'm afraid Bullock is cut from the same cloth, I think.
He also hogs the food.
He absolutely does. Hogs all the donuts. I always remember that scene when everyone's rushing out and he goes back for a donut. I always remember that. Yeah, literally, that is literally what he does. And so Gordon's like, no, we've got to wait for Batman. He said he'd be here when the bus goes down. And while he's doing that, Batman is visiting Crime Alley with Leslie, which is quite nice, to see a follow-on from appointment from Crime Alley. So we know, obviously, this is a year on from that moment, which is quite a long time. Like, quite a lot's happened in between those episodes, which is pretty cool. Got a nice continuation there as well.
He never misses an appointment.
No, it's quite I quite like that, and it's nice to see Leslie brought in for this episode. She creates a nice little angle on it, and so we then come back to the man that has been taking the change away from people, the bus, and two thugs sat on him for not paying up.
For working the corner.
Yeah, and Batman comes in to help this guy, and whilst he's taking the thugs out, the flower gets crushed. I always remember his face when he sees that, like the animation on his face. It's a horrible moment, but it just makes me kind of laugh. The facial expression he pulls, I don't know why. And and then Batman sends him off into the rescue mission with Leslie, the guy that's been taking the change, which we will return to a little bit later.
Yeah, so I do like how Batman confides in Leslie with the little time that we see with him, where he's asking if he's doing the right thing, and we should. It's both people that we see that are closest to him in his life, basically, and he's confiding in, and we see two, and we basically a third one's coming up later. It also reminds me a lot of Noel, or like A Christmas Carol, basically.
Mm. Yeah, no, when he says like, "Oh, I wonder if every year I come here is the last year," I think that's an amazing quote. He knows deep down he will never ever stop until he's forced to,
or if he's dead.
Yeah.
It's so good. And then, like what you said, we where did we leave off? Sorry.
Yeah. So after Batman sent off the guy to go and join the rescue mission with Leslie.
So we see that Batman, because he was doing all this, he was late for the raid on the Jazz Man, and because of it, a whole battle takes place, and the raid takes place, and in the fire and the crossfire, Commissioner Gordon is severely wounded by Jimmy, aka the Jazz Man Pete.
Just on that thing, I love how in every single one of these shootouts, it's just a guy shooting out a window straight forward, just machine gunning a window constantly. Like, it's not in any way directed at anybody, and nobody dies in these things. It's no wonder with that accuracy.
Well, it's like very much stormtrooper accuracy.
Yeah,
for these guys. But someone finally hit something, and it was Commissioner Gordon, and Batman is devastated by this. And of course, he's hanging by a thread. He's also taken to the hospital and put on all the machines and the apparatuses. And Barbara Gordon is there. We see her. We haven't seen her since Heart of Steel, but she's still there. Not Batgirl yet. So another early look before, which is nice.
Love all these little cameo things that we get in this episode with like Leslie and Barbara Gordon and stuff like that. It's
definitely
fantastic.
And what you said too about like timeline, we get an idea of what the timeline is, where everything. So
there's so many people used in this episode, even if there's no sort of like main villain, so to speak.
Yeah, even Bullock gets his little time to shine.
Like Alfred and Dick as well. They're brilliant.
And then right after that, we see that everyone's visiting in the hospital. We see Barbara, we see Batman, and we see Bullock. And Bullock has something to say to Batman, correct?
Yes. Bullock not impressed. I love how he's like saying, "You outlaw!" when he's shouting out the window to him. I think that was a brilliant moment. It's like, and I love how he says, like, this isn't anything to do with the law. This is you and me. Like, it makes it very personal. Bullock, it takes it very personally. The whole thing with the commissioner, which is, I think, really well written.
Yeah, and I feel like the commissioner now, he's at least he's having a good nap, even though he has to be wounded.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then Batman is he's grieving and he's upset, and while this is going on, Jazzman is at Stonegate, which is cool that we get to see Stonegate. And that's because Gotham City Jail is overcrowded thanks to Batman, just throwing everyone in there.
I don't think we've seen Stonegate since is it the Pretty Poison episode?
Yes, where they first open ground.
Yeah, when they first ruin it, so that's a nice little tie-in as well, and also quite a nice timeline again.
That's true. Yeah, this episode, I mean, even though it's probably not hailed as the greatest, it does have a lot of perfect story points to let you know where in the universe it's placed, which is nice. And then so Jazzman is sent to Stonegate, and he's going to try to plan to get out and at least take Gordon all the way out, because he's the reason technically that he's in Stonegate or caught. And then we also see that because Alfred is so worried about Bruce and so like wanting him to get out of his funk of depression, he has called Dick from college to come talk to Bruce, and hopefully that will help. And he tries talking to him, and again, I don't know if we're near the place in the Batcave, but we're in like this cliff area on this little bridge, I guess.
Mm.
And Dick's talking to Batman, let him know that he's got to come out of this, that Gordon needs him, everyone needs him. Yeah. And Batman just says, I don't want anyone else to be a victim because of what I've done and because I'm like not able to be there. And Dick basically says the whole city would be falling apart if it wasn't for you, if it wasn't for you going out every night. And Batman, in just utter disgust and completely overwhelmed with emotion, just takes off his mask and throws it down into the abyss and just says that he wants to quit, basically.
Yeah.
What say you?
And he's saying, like, Jim is the same age that his father would have been and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's brilliant. And, he's been there for 3 days as well, so we get a little bit of a time scale on that. And then he comes up with the brilliant quote saying that when you look at the abyss and it looks back straight through, maybe that's time for Batman to return to the night from which he was spawned before anybody else gets hurt. I mean, that is a brilliant quote. Absolutely brilliant quote. I think I enjoy that quote more than the I Am the Night and Batman, because I think that's such a meaningful and very truthful thing that he says. You can tell he really means that when he says it's not any bravado or anything. It's straight from the heart, and he really does truly mean what he's saying, which is fantastic.
That's true. And that line has actually been said again in like The Killing Joke. Well, not said again, but said something similar. But you could tell that that's also probably one of Bruce Timm's favorite lines. And it's so good.
And what he says to Owlman as well, about the abyss and stuff like that. It's similar sort of lines with those quotes, which is pretty cool.
So good.
It's an amazing quote. And
this is a Saturday morning cartoon. We're talking about depression and death and life hanging in the balance.
It's got shades of sort of it's never too late kind of this episode a little bit, in this sort of dark, deep meaning behind it. But
what Saturday morning cartoon is taking on mental illness and depression?
I know, yeah. And this was 25 years ago as well, which is crazy.
That's very crazy
to think about. But yeah, so while this is going on, we've got the Jazzman escaping in the classic laundry cart style. And he goes down a grid. Now, this is just me, but how poor has your security got to be for someone to just lift up a grid and go straight down it and end up directly back into Gotham's underworld, which is quite scary.
We never thought of that.
Yeah. And, Jazzman's escaping, and he's going to go back after... he's going to go back after Commissioner Gordon. He owes him a visit to Harpland, as he puts it. But before all that, we go back over to Batman. He's all distraught, and this is where we see the Abyss quote, of course. And also, I love how Batman says, I've become a cliche. They make action figures of me. Batman would hate DC Direct, given they re-release colour variants of him constantly. He would really not be a DC Direct fan. Batman would.
No. They're milking me for all it's worth, Alfred. They're milking me.
Yeah, and he wouldn't like the McFarlane figure either for skipping leg day.
That's not how I look. I work on a balanced regimen.
Yeah, exactly. And my chin's not that big. But,
the Jay Leno bat.
Jay Leno. That's brilliant. But yes, then we go back over to the hospital with Barbara Gordon.
Yes.
Yeah, so she's, Barbara saying to Dick that he'll come back to finish it, which is quite cool that we see Dick Grayson going over to see Barbara. That's where we sort of see the relationship between them sort of begin, which is quite nice. Saying that he'll come back to finish him off, and Dick says, the Jazzman has broke out, but hopefully Batman will be there to stop him. Because Dick sort of knows deep down, there's a problem with that. So he heads back to see Batman, or Bruce, who was just sat in a chair in Wayne Manor, just sort of completely and utterly broken. And Dick's like, the most important lesson that you told me was to never, ever give up, which is brilliant. I think that's something
Ooh.
that, he's proper thrown shade there, hasn't he? But I think it's something in life that is just generally true. Just never give up with whatever it is. It's something that
And
I
that's
know
his one superpower.
Yeah, I know something that is personally what I live my life by every day. Just don't give up. Dick says, right, if you're not going to do anything about it, I am. So he heads out and he's about to get on the cycle and go. And all of a sudden, Batman's like, no, this is my hunt, which is brilliant.
Which is another, but we don't get to see him team up with Robin.
I know, it stole the opportunity, which is a shame. But Batman's very personal about some stuff.
Yes.
And we've seen him before ditch Robin for missions that he has to do on his own. This time, Robin stand aside with no problem. I think he knows at this point, like, yeah, I'm not gonna test this guy's nerve. We'll just leave him to it.
I'm happy enough he's in the costume again. But yeah, and from here we see that the Jazz Man, he's at the hospital and he's with a gun, and he is trying to come through the window because he's pretending to be a window cleaner, and he's about to finish off Gordon while he's sleeping, but Barbara throws her body in front of him as a human shield, already displaying her willingness to be a hero and self-sacrifice. And we see Batman show up, throw a batarang, and a fight ensues, and Batman eventually takes care of the Jazz Man.
Yeah.
And Bullock is able to come in last minute with some more more guards or policemen. And the Jazz Man is apprehended. Gordon wakes up, and everything is well.
Yeah. Brilliant voice acting there as well. It's Bob Hastings, isn't it, does the voice of Gordon? That's some great voice acting from him in that moment as well. He really does sound like he's genuinely Hillen. Yeah, it's fantastic voice acting. And when Batman throws that batarang at the Jazz Man, it sticks to the end of the gun and he shoots. That's gotta hurt.
Yeah.
Break your wrist.
That'll do a lot to you.
That's gotta hurt. But and he Gordon's like, oh, I always wanted to be a hero like you, and Batman's like, you are a hero, Jim, which is a great way to sort of cap off that scene, which is fantastic. And then we get the sort of very, very final scene after that where Batman heads back onto the streets and he sees the guy from earlier who was like stealing money, and he thinks he's up to it again. And he said, "Oh, I owe a lot to you, Batman. I've reformed. I'm heading home," and just says thanks to him. And then that sort of Batman's faith in humanity restored, which is very true of these days.
Yeah, and also I do like the little end scene with Commissioner Gordon and Batman, because it does, even though they're not father and son, it does feel a lot like a father-son moment.
It does. Yeah, no, it does.
Gordon's kind of like giving him, it's like, I always wanted to be like you, or almost like I'm proud of you, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's true, that is, yeah.
So what do you rate this episode, Scott?
A good question. I'm going to give this episode an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
I really enjoy everything about it, if I'm honest. I think it's got a really good meaning to it, lots of different characters involved, and it just feels very real, very sort of realistic Batman story, which is fantastic. Yeah, a very sort of modern day story, which I really enjoy, and fantastic. Well, what do you think?
Yeah, I'll give it an 8 to maybe even 8.5 now. Just looking at all the ways it ties in with the where it gives you a continuity with everything, gives callbacks, gives foreshadowings, and it just gives you a good timeline. But also the fact that the message and what they're talking about, what Batman is dealing with, is something that even just now to this day is something that people are just now starting to get comfortable with talking about.
It's true.
And this show 25 years ago, and they weren't afraid. It wasn't like it was an episode where Batman's dealing with a criminal or with a friend who's depressed. They put Batman in the spotlight as Batman being the one with the depression and the one struggling. So, I mean, I think that took a lot of balls back then, because people were like, what? Batman's struggling? Because you couldn't imagine Superman being depressed or anything like that. So the fact that they've had Batman, like, is it all worth it? And these were coming out of Batman's mouth. Like, is it all worth it? Like, what's the point? They're just going to do it again. Like, that's heavy stuff. And then having something like Commissioner Gordon being shot having to be the reason that he's shaken out of his funk. That's it's pretty good, and I think it resonates now, like you said, more than ever. So
And subtly teaching kids a lesson as well, isn't it? With that, which is
yeah,
brilliant.
they never give up, and I think that is the perfect tie into what they show in Justice League, where it's like, "What's your own powers? I never give up."
Yeah, definitely.
So I think even that's brilliant. So I think this is a very underrated episode.
Yeah, it really is, and I love all not only the fact that they put loads of characters in it, they don't just use it for the sake of it. You know, they don't just, it's not like a Marvel movie where they put somebody in just to be there, if that makes sense.
Remember him?
Yeah, exactly. They use the characters brilliantly. Like Barbara Gordon is used great. They sort of used Dick Grayson in that scene as well to sort of start their relationship together.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It really is. Fantastic episode.
Basically, everyone in Batman's life important to him is trying to plead to him, so that's cool. Seeing the supporting characters.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good. What is our next episode?
Oh, do you know what? This is something I did not check.
Well, I think I could tell you.
Oh, okay.
I think it is Off Balance.
Oh, okay. Yes. Oh, yeah, of course it is. Yeah, I remember seeing the picture you did today. Off Balance.
So we get to see Talia.
Yeah, it's okay. And if you're a German villain, it never ends well for you. So
it is more of a Green Arrow villain, so I guess that's cool. We get to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's all for the episode, and now it's time for questions and answers.
It is absolutely. It's that time again.
We have a lot.
We have a lot of questions. I think we've got like 24 questions in total, which is insane. Some funny, some serious, and some a bit of both. So looking forward to this. But yeah, thank you to everybody who sent their questions in. A few of them I know personally I had to leave out because they made no sense, which is a shame. But, yeah, looking forward to answering these.
All right, so do you want to go first or me?
Go for it. Yeah, let's see what you got.
All right, so this question is from Sergio_Antonio, and he says, "What is your favorite Batman?" He didn't specify live action or animated. So.
Conroy's Justice League Batman is my favorite Batman, comfortably. Yeah, by a long way. In fact, actually, no, not by a long way, because I'd say the Arkhamverse Batman is a fairly close second. But those two, I'd be happy with either one of them. But probably Justice League animated Conroy, I'd go for. How about you?
I would say Kevin Conroy as Batman. Basically, anything that he's in, he's my Batman. I love him. And anytime I read any comic, like we've said before, you read it in his voice. So, I mean, you didn't specify live action or animated, so that's the answer. So that's down. One down.
I think they're pretty solid answers, those, yeah. And it's actually, to be fair, you're kind of right, because both the versions I said are Conroy, so yeah, Conroy.
Yeah?
Yeah, Conroy is definitely the better one.
Thank you, Sergio.
I start off with a question I got as a photo request, which is from Alexis Salo. And can you make a Mad Hatter scene from Gotham, please? Now, I have no idea what this means. So I know that you've seen most of Gotham. What does that mean? Make a Mad Hatter scene from Gotham? I didn't know he was in it.
Yeah, he was in it, and he was decent. They didn't use him enough, and it's just he's a lot of the same stuff that you see in Batman the animated series, except he kind of had this weird thing with his sister, so it was kind of creepy. So
okay.
It's kind of weird.
I've still Mad Hatter animated picture. I haven't done one for a while, so maybe I can use that.
It's due, Scott. It's due.
Yeah, it's about time.
You got that new camera? Busted out. All right. Another question, and this is at comic_monster. This is who it's from. How? And this is a instructional question. How do I get better lighting for my photography?
Better lighting. I just go for something strong and something clear. So the lights I use, which I'm using right now on this podcast, are these things on Amazon. Just go for something LED, something strong. I don't know the name of these. I know like Lewis used a Philips Hue, and I see some people use Lume Cube, which I think is overrated, by the way. Lume Cube. But just to give you an idea of those sort of things. But a light's a light at the end of the day. Something that's bright and clear get it. And just experiment with things as well. So it's something I found when I first started. I used to think, oh, my camera's pretty shit. It doesn't work very well. Lighting is everything. If you get something clear and lit perfectly, your camera will pick up on that. So there's people that have got these expensive, fancy cameras and stuff, but their lighting's not the best, and it ruins the quality of the picture. Lighting is everything, and it's a good question actually, because lighting isn't something we probably talk about enough, because it's really difficult to get the correct lighting on things, and also the right colours. Something I've tried to experiment with a lot lately, because I know like you and Lewis, you use a lot of different colours from different angles, and that's something I tried to recently do on a Batman Forever picture. So it's just I wanted to just mess with stuff, and that's lighting's so critical. And the lights you use are pretty cool stuff as well.
Yeah, I'll show mine. These I got. Oh, let me flip it. There's a different angle on my face. These bad boys I just got for Christmas, and these are big. But I would say overall, go out and use your camera in daylight, see what it looks like in shadow, see what it looks like in raw sunlight, see what lights you have at home, and see what it looks like with your camera. You don't even have to take a picture, just have the camera out on it and put different lights up to the figure, see what looks best, and then after you can see what you got available first and see if anything works. And then outside of that, then hopefully you take note of what Scott showed you, because his lights are actually really cool. They have a base light and they have a ring circle light at the top, which is awesome.
It's got like a ring there. You can change the color, just tap whatever color you want it to be. And it's got different. I'm probably going to blind everybody watching now, but it's got different light settings as well.
Look at that sweet glare.
It's got. It's like the light glare you can see here above my head is from a light that's in the window there. So they're really strong, really powerful. But I remember you saying before a while ago, saying that natural lighting is the best. Honestly, it is by a long way. Yeah. Just go out there and take some pictures. It's brilliant.
And I mean, the lights I got for Christmas, and they're expensive. That's the only way I would ever get them, because I would ask for Christmas or for my birthday. But I mean, use use your birthday and Christmas to get things that you really need, like equipment. But like for me and Scott like to spend our money on figures.
Absolutely. I mean, these only cost 20 quid.
That's really perfect.
Good, so just something cheap and clear. That's the best advice. You don't have to get all these fancy colours and stuff. You'll worry about that later. Just get something cheap and really, really clear. Preferably LED.
You don't have to get a Lume Cube to fit in.
No, don't buy a Lume Cube because you've seen people who want you to pay $9 for a podcast to get them. Don't do that. I've seen a lot of people say, I'm a Lume Cube ambassador. Well done, you promote a light and don't get paid for it. Well done.
Yeah, you get to pay for your light and talk about it.
Yeah.
All right, you're up, Scott.
Okay, so next question. This is quite a good question, actually. I really like this one. So this is from comic_monster_studios. The wording's a little strange, but I get what he's saying. How do I know when to make a custom figure, and how do I attempt it? So this is quite a good one. I thought this would be a good question for you, because you've recently done the Joker custom figure from the movie, the Carnival figure. So how do you sort of start an idea for a custom figure, and how do you attempt it?
Okay, so sometimes it's born out of desperation, and sometimes it's born out of love. And with this figure, it's born out of both. And because there's no way to get it. And with the custom figures, there are sometimes you want to, if you have enough fodder, you can experiment and try different things. But go with your gut and your brain, because if you have a good eye, and I know it was with me, sometimes I hesitate and I'm like, will it look good? Will it look good? Do I do it? Just go for it. Just do it, because if you think it's going to look good, usually it is. It's like with when you're doing a test and multiple choice. Usually the first answer you think of is usually the right answer, even though you second guess yourself. So trust yourself and trust your eye and go for it. And sometimes it'll work and sometimes it won't, but most of the time it will work, especially if you have any kind of artistic ability, you generally know. And I feel like it just has to be something. I don't even know if you know if it's. You'll just know if it's the right when it's right. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. And just try it and have a go. Like people,
Just try it.
People are like kind of, I hasten to say scared because it's a bit of over exaggeration, but some people are scared to have a go of it. And like, oh, I don't know where to start, but just give it a go. It's like I'm absolutely appalling at custom stuff. But I did recently paint the animated Joker figure in red to make it look
looks
like the
good.
movie. I've done the Nightmare Batman as well, which I'm taking a picture of for ages. Need to do that, but yeah, just
Your custom
give it
animated
a
one.
go. Yeah, I've done that for
Yeah,
ages.
it's good.
I
And
might
that's
go out and do that
because
tonight.
see, that's a perfect example. You had never really done a custom before that, but you knew it would look good. You knew the idea and execution would work, and it looks perfect. Everyone loved it.
Yeah, well, that's it. If it's different, people like it. Even if, in all brutal honesty, it's crap. So what? Just have a go. Just have a go. There's loads of crap customs out there, and I've probably made more than anybody else. But just have a go. It's worth trying, and at worst, you'll learn from it.
True. Yeah. And I like your customs, so they're not crap. All right. Hopefully that was a good enough answer.
Yeah, I think
this
so.
one.
Brilliant.
This one is from the Mark Knight 0229.
Oh yeah.
The Mark Knight. In your opinion, what was DC Collectibles' worst toy line?
That's a good question. That is
or DC Direct, whichever you want to call it.
I'm gonna say DC Essentials is their worst line ever. They've done loads of wacky stuff and like they've done some great lines, some brilliant lines, but I'm gonna say Essentials. It's just boring, man. Like, and the arms are too long, and the only good thing about that line, I think, is the head sculpts. Oh wait, no, it isn't.
The arms do go like down to the kneecaps.
Yeah, it's good. The head sculpts are good for people on a sort of $2 or $3 budget because they're all the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Like some of them are great. Like the Red Hood's head sculpt's great. Cheetah's great. Nightwing's great as well. Brainiac was pretty good. And there are others as well, but stuff like they let themselves down with like the Superman and the Aquaman head sculpts. Like they look the same. Oh, the Joker was a good one as well, but the Superman and Aquaman look the same with just different color hair, and it's just boring. And like they're re-releasing Batman in a different color again. Like it's just terrible. They've done some weird lines and some great lines. Like I remember the return of Bruce Wayne in like the cowboy suits and stuff. That was a terrible line, but I would rather have one of those figures than some of the terrible Essential stuff that's been shown off. But I think they are steadily improving. But we're in 2020 now. How hard can it be to make a decent action figure?
Yeah, well, we know that they love making statues. That's for sure.
They do, yeah. Actually, they could have been their worst line. Anyway, how about you? What are you going to say?
I would say, DC Essentials sucks, especially because they don't have any accessories or extra hands. It's rare if they do.
Yeah.
And I think the reason the Red Hood is so good is because they actually come with guns and stuff.
Yeah, true.
But I think in terms of biggest opportunities failed, I think their Darwin Cook line, because it's beautiful.
Good shot.
It's a really good line, and he's a really good artist, and he's an animated alumni. And his designs are cool, but they only made him like limited articulation. I remember like 5 or 6 points of articulation. It's like, why didn't you go all out? Because they're beautiful figures.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's just a waste.
I think some great work. I remember I saw a few days ago the Darwin Cook Flash figure on eBay. That was great.
Yeah.
And I've got like the Darwin Cook Black Hawk figure as well from that.
Oh yeah,
old
you do.
Vintage line. He's a brilliant figure. It's a shame.
And they're cool looking, but he's not super articulated, right?
Yeah. No, not really, which is a shame. But it's just a great looking figure, and
I'd still get him, but I feel like they could have done more.
Yeah, that's the foundation DC Directs were built on. Great looking figures that had articulation. So it is a shame.
And detail.
Yeah, and detail.
All right, you're up.
Okay, which Batman is better, Bale or Keaton?
Batman? Keaton. Because Batman,
Yeah.
he didn't say Bruce Wayne.
I agree. Keaton. realistically, probably Christian Bale maybe delivered a better performance, but Keaton just had so much more of an impact on me as a kid. So I'd go for Bale. Yeah, and the world. In Returns, he's great, and in Batman '89, he's great. Like that Axis chemical scene, I just love it to death. It's so good. Absolutely love it.
I like the Bruce Wayne and how they do him as a playboy and stuff, but I also liked how Keaton played him as like a detached, like weirdo that's just out of touch with reality and society. I kind of like that he played aloof and weird.
Yeah, it's true. That is true.
Because he would be weird.
Not to take anything away from Bale, of course, because Bale is just insane.
Yeah.
But
he's Christian Bale for a reason.
We're very, very blessed to have so many great Batman actors. And I don't think there's been a bad casting apart from maybe Clooney. But I don't really blame him for what happened in that movie anyway. So
yeah, Clooney's just kind of smiling the whole time for that movie.
Yeah.
Any more words on that?
No, I think that's about it. To be fair,
right. This one I'm interested in, just to hear your answer. This is from @NerdandCheese, who is Larry from STS Guys, and he asked, "What action figures did you have primarily as a child?"
That's a good question. I'd say more than like anything else, I'd probably say the Batman '89 figures. A few different colour variants of that Keaton figure. Like I remember the purple one with the gold emblem. He was my OG Batman figure, like the favourite figure ever. So back in the day. So I'd say the Batman '89 stuff, but the animated series was a big influence. And
do you have a lot of Marvel?
I'd go for them. Do you know what? I did have a few Marvel figures. Obviously, I had like the old Spider-Man 2002 figures. They came after all the Batman stuff, or mostly after the Batman stuff. And do you know what? I think that's probably about. I mean, I've had a few of the Spider-Man 3 figures, but they were pretty garbage. They were small scale as well.
Did you have Venom?
I did have the Venom, yeah.
Oh, he's worth a lot nowadays.
I've got him up in the loft somewhere, Venom.
Nice. You have to bust him out.
Fetch him down and sell him.
You should. That's more fig money.
Yeah,
McFarlane Multiverse.
Yeah, I'd probably go for that Batman though. He was my the '89 line with the Joker and in the Robin as well from Batman Returns. Had him. Had Catwoman. I still got them somewhere. I'd filed away. But yeah,
you're so lucky.
What was your original? What was your origin story?
My figures I had growing up, I had the utility belt '89 Batman. Yeah. I had the Jack that shot the acid out of his little flower, his orchid. When Batman Returns came out, I remember I had a big birthday party that year where I got like the penguins flying mobile,
nice.
The penguins, the Catwoman. I got the deluxe coupe with Bruce Wayne and all that. Nice. But then after that, I think I got some Batman Forever figures, but I had a lot of X-Men and Spider-Man. Whatever animated series was on TV, I had a lot of.
Nice.
So looking back, I actually have a decent amount of Spider-Man animated and X-Men.
Yeah.
But Batman animated series started coming back around when I was in 4th grade, the new Batman Adventures. So
yeah.
When that came back out, every report card where I got A's, I was just like, Batman, give me some figures. So those were my original figures.
Some amazing figures back in the day, all the Kenner stuff.
Yeah, I think I stopped collecting around 6th grade, and then not until recently back again.
And just to kind of expand on that was the next question I was going to ask, which is from KK_collects. What was your first action figure?
First I can remember was Utility Belt Batman. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I'm going to go for the Keaton one again, the purple suit. He's the first I can remember. And there was probably one I had before then, but he's the first one I can actually remember having and owning. So yeah, I'd go for him along with the Joker as well. With that, the one with the orange trousers and the purple coat from that colour
with the
variant.
face change.
No,
just a colour variant.
It was a colour variant, yeah. But yeah, I'd go for those two, or particularly the purple suit Batman.
My go-to Batman was the animated one where he had like this hard cape and it opened up and turned into a glider and he had the lightning.
Yeah.
That was the Batman. I still have it. That was my favorite.
That's awesome.
And then my other go-to was the Happy Meal Batman, the Batman animated series Batgirl, which is this color, which was why I was so happy to have this version again because it reminded me of the Happy Meal.
She's awesome.
But yeah, those are my go-tos. You're up. Well, unless you just went again. So
yes.
All right, this is from @Terry Ham, and they ask favorite Batman? Question mark.
Okay, that's a good question. I'm gonna go. It's really difficult.
Basically, the same person as the first.
It can. If we're talking overall, then Conroy. But I say for movies,
let's go movies.
It's either Keaton or Affleck, and I really can't decide between the two of them. I love both of them a lot. Probably Keaton edges it because it's hard. It's a difficult question. I've always loved Ben Affleck as Batman. I think he's amazing, but I think the Keaton movies are slightly better. That's why I'd go for them for Keaton. I think his villains complete him as a Batman, whereas Affleck's not really had a villain. Do you know what I mean? He's not really had a Batman villain. He's had Superman as probably his main villain, or Lex Luthor as his main villain. So I'd go for Keaton personally because I just think he's brilliant. I love his batsuit. I love the darkness of him, and the composure of his Batman as well. Ben Affleck was a very angry Batman, whereas Keaton was very calculated Batman, more like an animated series Batman, I'd say. Yeah,
and I'm gonna go with you and pick Keaton also because at the time it was a big risk to make a Batman that dark. A lot of things about that movie were original. The Batmobile, the way the costume looked, Gotham as a whole being a big character, basically being gothic. And overall, it set a precedent for superhero movies. It set a precedent for how Batman was going to be. It set the tone for the animated series. And overall, it just had a greater impact on pop culture as a whole. So I'm going to pick Keaton.
Yeah, it's true. He we've always said this on the podcast. He was the origin of all this that we have today, really.
Yeah. He's the reason we're talking.
Without like Burton, Keaton, and even Nicholson, we wouldn't probably have most of what we have now, or any maybe. They were the straw that broke the camel's back, as we say, and they really stuck their neck out on the line and went for it and made a couple of amazing movies, which is fantastic.
Yes, thank you.
I wonder if there's anybody out there expecting us to go, oh, George Clooney, he was a phenomenal Batman.
His nipples were really standing out to me.
And just to sort of continue on with that sort of theme of questioning, what is your favourite Batman film?
Okay.
This is from Sergio _Antonio _the_bat _. I can't see the rest of it, but I'm sure you'll find him if you search for that. Yes,
after the third underscore, it'll pop up. Favorite Batman film? This is rough. Well, because it actually was on film and it was in the theaters, Batman: Mask of the Phantasm.
Oh yeah, great choice.
Look
at that. And that's epic, isn't it? Look at that for a poster. It's epic.
Thank you to my sister. That was my birthday present.
That is the way to introduce a villain with a poster like that. When you create, when you're creating your own villain, just how cool is that poster to see the Phantasm on there? It looks epic.
Yeah, that's how you'd make your own villain. You're right.
It really is, and that cape spread as well looks epic.
If only we had that DC Direct collectibles.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
right, what's your favorite?
Great shout. Batman '89. It was the root of everything that I have right now. Yeah. So yeah, and like I say, the Axis Chemical scene is just so good.
Nice
the music from it. I listen to the Danny Elfman album regularly, like with all the soundtracks on there. I listen to that a lot when I'm doing figure photography. Like everything about that movie inspires me, and I just can't stop taking pictures of that custom Batman Returns Batman. And
I don't want you to.
It's just insane. Like I love everything about that movie, and so yeah, I'm gonna go for that.
Good. That's good for me. Now, again, continuing on with that thing. Batman quotes, your favorite.
And
this is from B Holwasia at B Holwasia.
So it's difficult. I think the Dr. Destiny quote when he says, "I'll have one power, I never give up." I think that's just so poignant, and I love. There's just to show a few other ones as well. That the quote from Keaton when he says, "I do this because nobody else can," and stuff like that, and when he says, "Oh, he's out there right now, I've got to go to work," and stuff like that, I think that's brilliant, and all those sort of quotes, and and there's a lot of Ben Affleck moments that are quotable as well when he's talking to Alfred, and he's like, "How many necks? Millions," and stuff like that, and there's so many to even think of, and also the Beta one, it's what I do that defines me. There's so many epic quotes, but I'd go for the never give up one because it's just so simple and so hard coded.
Yeah, that's a good quote. I don't know if it's hard for me to pick one.
It's difficult, isn't it? There's so many epic ones.
Gosh. I don't know. I picked the whole Batman Mask of Phantasm movie. That's my answer.
Yeah, I think that's good. That's good.
Sorry.
Phantasm
Sorry,
movie
has,
it's like when he says, "What will vengeance solve?" And he's like, "You of all people should know that." What Andrew says back. I mean, that's a great. It's not really a Batman quote, but I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, or when she says, "The only one being controlled by their parents is you."
Yeah, amazing.
She knows how to hurt them.
She really does. Yeah, that is a deep cutting comment.
All right, now back to you.
Okay, so this is a question from Martin. Hope I'm saying that right. Do you have an Adam West Batman figure? Shamefully, no. Probably should have one, but don't. I would love to get the Robin from that, and the neck of Batman looks really cool. Yeah, Adam West neck of Batman. Did they do a neck of Robin? I don't think they do they? Which is a shame.
Only at the I think it's like the 18-inch version or 12-inch.
No, that's a shame. If they did a 6-inch, maybe McFarlane are listening. Let's have a couple. Some new figures from that. That'd be quite cool. But they're just so damn expensive. Or maybe in a Hot Toys. Because not Hot Toys. Mezco, Batman and Robin from that. They'd look really cool. That
actually would be cool. I would buy those.
But yeah, you don't have an Adam West Batman, do you?
No, I thought about getting
hard to come by.
Yeah, I thought about getting the big one because I think for $100 I could have got the 18-inch one, both of them, but I just couldn't do 18 inches. It's too big.
I just don't resonate with that show very much. Like for these days where I very much prefer a serious Batman. I just can't take that show seriously. And I get what it means to people and stuff, but I don't know. I personally massively enjoy it, to be honest.
You don't like the Bat Watusi?
And the shark repellent spray, and I can't take that seriously.
Yeah, it was hard for me. Even my dad, when I was little, he's like, "You're not gonna like this show." And I was like, "It's Batman. I'll watch it." And I was like 9. I was like, "No, I can't do this.
This sucks majorly."
Yeah, I can't do this.
Yeah, I think people only like it because it's not. Well, maybe a bit unfair that, but they only like it because it's nostalgia. Because really, it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks, really. Let's be honest.
I would love to put that as a pull quote, like on a Blu-ray from Scott on that and West. Really, it kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does. It's not the best.
All right, this is actually a good question. This is from at the_glorious_pictures. Personal favorite action figure. Your personal favorite.
That's a good shout. A question. So I'm gonna go for this guy. Personal favorite ever action figure. Very simple. The DC Collectibles Justice League animated Batman, which previously wasn't exclusive for their stupid DC Universe app, but is now going to be released very soon to the mass market, which I can't wait for.
So it's still not out?
No, unfortunately not. Not till June, I think. But yeah, epic figure, and what DC Collectibles can do when they put their minds to it, although QC issues could be better. But yeah, I'm going to go for that one. That series means everything to me, so yeah, I'll go for him. Closely followed by that NECA 89 Batman. I think the Mezco Batman will probably be my favourite when he comes out, but for now, him or closely followed by the NECA Batman.
Well, I mean, I could just pick any Batman animated series figure, but I would say overall my favorite that I have is this one because of
that's a great figure, amazing figure.
All the accessories and the ability to do different things with it with the other figures. So
yeah, and the Terry head as well. It's just so great.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy that I have this guy because all the other stuff is pretty easy to find.
That's what I mean. Like, I have you to thank for finding that figure because it's one of them where it just kind of get lost in history.
And you got it before it went too up in price.
Yeah.
Before it got crazy.
I genuinely think most of that is down to you because people saw it and like, oh, we need to get this. I know.
Well, how could they forget that? It's so cool,
isn't it? And
all right,
again, to expand on that, from Batman _198213, which is a favorite Batman figure. Again, I'd go for this guy because he's my favorite, followed by the NECA Batman, who's up there, which I can't be bothered to go and get. But yeah, I'd go for Justice League animated again.
Yeah, now go for just animated figures in general. I like them all because of all the accessories and they all have to be combined.
Yeah.
And that was a question from you?
Yes, from Batman _198213. Thank you for that question.
Okay, this one is I can't. FOC Matthew. I don't want to say it just in case. This one is rank the DC animated figures, but I'll just put in terms of Batman, you could rank BTAS, TMBA, and Justice League, or just any other releases, I guess, instead of ranking each and every figure.
Wow, we'd be here a long time. We'd have big grey beards by the time we finished with that.
I think we each have like 400 figures to go through.
If we're going for like, I say a top 3, then I'll go for JL Batman #1, JL Superman #2, and then Batman Beyond as #3. That'll be my top 3. Like if I had to get rid of every action figure from that series and keep 3, I'd keep those 3.
Those are solid. I'd pick the expression pack of Batman #1. I'd pick the Wonder Woman from Justice League just because you gotta have that, and then expression pack Joker. That's 3.
Yeah, that's a great shout. Joker's brilliant.
I rank those. All right, well.
Yeah, that was a good question. I think it's we should do a whole episode on that one day. Discussing we should actually. Why don't we do that? We'll discuss every single animated figure release ever and rate them. That's quite a good. We could do that.
Would be intense. That'd be intense.
We should do.
I'd be down.
Yeah, we'll go through the whole series, like starting with New Avengers Batman, and go all the way through the series ranking them. That'd be quite cool.
Okay, new Batman Adventure Two-Face with no ankle.
Yeah. It's like, oh no, neither of us have got him because he's expensive and broken. But, yeah, it's a good question, that is, and that could lead to a nice little mini series we could do.
Yes. So there's your answer. We might do a whole series on it.
Yeah, there you go. So you'll get a prolonged answer, which is kind of cool.
What do you got?
Okay, so this question is from our recent guest that we had on from DCAU Review. They do some fantastic work and they've been super supportive of us and our podcast, which is really kind of them. So, as a fan of the 6-inch figures, I find myself a nomad now that McFarlane is doing 7-inch. Any recommendations online to collect? So, it's a good point. I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? Like a 7-inch line. The only 7-inch line I can think of that is worth doing is the Arkham line, but I'd just say that because I love the Arkham figures. But
that'll cost your wallet.
Yeah, it will cost your wallet quite a lot. to be honest, I think the best thing we can do is just wait for more McFarlane stuff.
Yeah.
Really, but it's just waiting for it. That's the problem. We're now 2 months after they've done their first wave, so hopefully the next one will be coming up pretty soon. If we sort of assume they're doing 3 or 4 a year, then we're due one probably next month or month after.
Well, the other thing you could do is the DC Essentials actually scale well with the McFarlane too. So if you're looking for different versions while you wait, those aren't too bad.
Yeah.
You won't get accessories, but they're not too bad and not too marked up. So
Yeah.
that's
true.
decent.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the Wonder Woman said it's out this month, so hopefully it comes out.
Oh, looking forward to that. Yeah. I so can't wait to get that Wonder Woman. She looks epic.
And then, continuing on that path of new figure releases at Air ERCOATES Codes. Are you guys going to collect the Adventure Continues line? What say you, Scott?
I don't know. Yeah, for the most part. Some of them I just don't see the point in, like Robin and Harley. Like, it's just kind of pointless. I'll probably get all of them, being honest, but doing it under protest a little bit. Yeah,
like a soccer match or a football match.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the ones, especially like Deathstroke. I'm gonna get Red Hood. I'm gonna get the Armored Batman. The repaints, I'm only gonna get those if I'm in desperate need of them figure-wise to continue to do what I need, like if they're broken and that sort of thing. My Robin is broken, so I'm gonna need him. Harley Quinn, it's like the 5th or probably up to 7th version they've done.
It actually is, isn't it? Yeah.
So, I mean, if you just really, really want to sell coloring in, and I'm also interested in wanting to know, their first Harley Quinn had ankle hinge and all that, and then their next ones didn't. So is this one going to be that, or is it going to be completely decked out in all the articulation, or what? So if it's going to be trash, I hope it's good.
I want to know what they're going to actually do with the Batman articulation as well. If they're going to have that evil joint in the chest, or if they're going to do it properly and not have it there and just make it look aesthetically brilliant.
Scott hates that ab crunch.
Just put the Hardak legs on the original body and then you're done, because the Hardak legs are great. I hate the legs from the new Batcycle figure. They're just horrible. Awful. It hardly stands up. It's just terrible.
No, that actually, you've done that where you've taken the Hardak legs and put it on the regular Batman. It looks good.
Yeah, it's perfect. He stands up great and he's got increased articulation. That's all you need to do. We don't need a stupid ab crunch. It looks horrible. I hate it. And the emblem looks off as well when you do the ab crunch. The emblem looks too big. Like it's too stretched out. It doesn't look quite right.
All right. Did you ask it? It's your up, right?
I believe so. So the next question is a bit of a funny one. It's from @Ahsoka the Geek, and it's crunchy or flakes bar. Now, I'm going for personally, I say flake. I don't like crunchies very much.
Always like a Nature Valley. Because I like cornflakes cereal, but I do like a granola crunch in my bar. So,
fair enough.
There's your answer.
But yeah, actually, that's a good point. I go for flakes anyway, personally.
I'm interested to try a flake bar, so I might try flakes. All right, this one is from @super.cal.l.
Yeah.
This is pretty easy. Do you prefer DC over Marvel?
That is an odd question to ask DC figures and collectibles. Of course, it's Marvel. No,
you got me on that one.
I think DC is a solid choice for that.
Yes. If Marvel had only ever created Spider-Man and would have quit, then yeah, I probably would like Marvel somewhat, but I'm not a big fan of what they're doing right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. That's it for that one.
Okay, so this question is a very broad and very blunt question. It's from the.collector.366. Who are you?
Who are any of us
Who are we? Yeah, who are we on this? Who are we in this universe?
on this rock hurling through space?
Yeah. Who are we? I'm Scott, and
I'm Tyler.
That's Tyler on the other screen there, that way, or that way. I don't know which way it's going to broadcast it. He's on the other one next to me.
They always switch.
Yeah, he's on the other one next to me anyway. Yes. If you're an avid viewer of the podcast, you know who we are by now. We don't need to tell you that. Or bore you with that information.
That's a great question. Thank you.
Yes.
This one's interesting, pretty cool. This is from @ventriloquist _and _Scarface, and it says, "Do you think the ventriloquist would be cool to have in a live-action movie?"
Absolutely. Maybe not as a main villain, but as a side villain, I think he'd be great. I think he might even fit in well with this movie that we've got coming out now, because he's sort of like a mob boss kind of character, isn't he? And he'd fit in quite well with a sort of detective movie. So, it's a shame I'm not going to see him in this movie, but I think he could definitely work. And it'd be quite different to see a character like that. It was like sort of an old guy as a villain with Scarface, and I think that'd be a fantastic villain, actually. And I hope they use them. I think there's a decent chance we could see him in the trilogy. But yeah, why not?
I think that actually could work out. It's even like what you said with this Batman, where he's solving a mystery of who's the new crime boss, and it's some wooden Scarface.
Could you imagine?
That'd be funny. But yeah, I mean, we've seen it work in Gotham. I mean, they barely used them, and the dummy they used, like as Scott pointed out before, looked horrendous.
Yeah.
But I think
Traffic Cop Timmy from Everyone Loves Raymond. If anyone's seen that, it looks like Traffic Cop Timmy.
And he did. If you look him up, it's like. But yeah, I think it could work, and especially with mental illness being a big thing nowadays, and people are aware of it, I think that it could definitely work for a multiple personality, almost like a Two-Face style.
Yeah,
I think it'd be cool. Second to last question. Now we got one more. After I don't know how many you have. I got one more.
I got two more. So, next question is from @the.batcollector, which is which actor are you most excited about seeing in the new Matt Reeves The Batman movie? Easy to say Robert Pattinson, but I'm also looking forward to seeing what they do with the Riddler. I'm very interested to see how they do, because I love the Riddler as a character in all his animated series episodes. So I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with him. But yeah, obviously answer would be Pattinson, and he probably is the one I'm looking forward to seeing the most. But yeah, fascinated to see what they're going to do with Riddler as well. How about you?
Easy for me. I want to see Catwoman. I want to see what they do with her, because we've had different versions of her, and although we've had different versions of Batman, there have been people that say, okay, Christian Bale's just as good, if not better than Michael Keaton, or you could say Ben Affleck is just as good, if not better than Christian Bale, but you've never had any Catwoman or any actress, at least for me, I've never been able to say, oh, that was just as good, if not better than Michelle Pfeiffer. Yeah. So I'm really hoping that someone's able to top that, or at least get close to that, because it's been kind of ridiculous.
She wasn't Selena Kyle wasn't even really Catwoman, was she, in The Dark Knight? So,
no, they didn't even say that one.
No, it was just Selena Kyle. So
closest they came was Catbird.
Yeah. So it's a good point. Yeah, I'm interested to see her costume. Hope she looks like an Arkham City Catwoman. But, yeah, interesting.
It will be cool, because I think that there's a lot of spy gadgets that could easily be turned into cat-like. So it'll be fun. Yeah. I do hope we get hints of purple, but I won't hold my breath. Yeah. But I do think that it'll be cool to see what she could do with the role. Yeah.
She looks the part, for sure.
She looks just like the comics, with the one that kind of looks like Audrey Hepburn.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I have to say on that. But okay, that wasn't my question. That's your question. All right, this one is from @Tom_Home. Not the real one, ladies.
Could you imagine?
Thank you, Tom. Now this is The Adventure Continues comic. Your thoughts?
It'd be interesting to see where it fits in timeline-wise. whether it fits in straight after New Adventures or if the Justice League is completely ignored from that, which is interesting because obviously I've seen them use Luthor in there, so obviously he was in Justice League, so it's going to be interesting to see where they fit it in timeline wise. But I think it's quite good, and it gives the new line a little bit more sort of gravity behind it if they use characters like Deathstroke and stuff like that. But I hope they don't go mental and using like Batman Who Laughs and Flashpoint Batman and Vampire Batman and mixing them all up. Let's not go too mental on that, and just don't ruin the continuity of the DCAU, basically. But yeah, I think it's good. I think it's pretty good.
I think we've kind of talked about it. I don't see how they could possibly make sense and have it involve Jason Todd and all this other stuff that just it wouldn't really quite fit in with the DCAU continuity. I do think that they're going to somehow, I know it's not confirmed and I have no sources telling me this, but I do think that it's going to have something to do with like the Flash going back and seeing different timelines or trying to fix a timeline. We'll get to see like a Thomas Wayne and a Vampire Batman and a scenario where Jason Todd lived and turned to Red Hood.
Yeah.
I think that's the only
shoehorn Jason Todd into it because it's just because it clearly wasn't planned. So it'd be a shame if they try and do that.
Yeah, like they act like he existed all along and Bruce just never talked about him. No.
Yeah. Like you can just see it now, can't you? That they're going to try and do that.
Oh, over in that corner over there, we never showed you, but there's a Jason Todd costume that's always been there.
If we were to turn back to the part of the cave where he was in Eye of the Night, you will see the costume that he used to wear. No, don't do that.
There it is. No, I hope they don't do that. But that's all my questions. You have one more?
Okay, so I've got one more left. Now I'm going to pronounce this wrong, so forgive me, but Mad Dorji Max. I hope I'm pronouncing. I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, but I know he's a big fan and he helped us out on our live stream recently. So thank you very much for your question. So, what figures would you be most interested of for the new Batman movie besides Batman? Because obviously we're going to just say Batman, but figure-wise, I'd be interested to see who does the figures for it. To be honest, because whether Mezco may do a figure from it, you'd think they would because they usually do. Or Mayfex probably will. Figure Arts may well do. But most likely there's McFarlane, I think, to get their hands on it first.
Diamond Select?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah,
maybe.
Possibly. Wouldn't be adverse to that because they do some great figures. Like their Gotham figures are brilliant, even if the show's trash. But it's hard to say without knowing what the characters are going to look like. But to be fair, the Catwoman would be quite interesting to see her as a figure. But I mean, Batman is the obvious one, and I hope they do all the like side ones like Alfred and stuff like that. A cool Alfred figure, and Commissioner Gordon as well. I think he'd be quite cool. So there's loads, but I mean Riddler again is one that I'd look forward to seeing. I mean we still don't even know the full cast yet. I mean we're now seeing rumours of Johnny Depp playing Joker, which I think are not true, by the way. But why would they be casting the Joker now when they started filming? I just don't think it makes sense. But
to me it makes sense that they would say all those rumors just to get clicks because Joker's so high right now. Just click.
Yeah,
there's no way Johnny Depp's gonna play the Joker.
No, I mean I wouldn't mind if he wants to play the Joker. Great, but I don't think it'll happen in this movie.
No.
But what are you saying? What were you looking forward to? Figure wise,
I'm looking forward to, like you said, who makes it. What kind of accessories? Because also with toys, if they get released before the movie, they tend to give spoilers. So it's always interesting too to see the accessories, see what might be a spoiler, might not be. I mean, I'd love to see what Riddler's costume looks like. So that'd be interesting. I'd love to see if they do a vehicle, if they do like the Bat Bike, that'd be cool.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Or the new Batmobile, just a really sick car. And then, I mean, if they do Batman, I would hope that if they do two suits in the movie, I hope they do like both of them. And even if they do one where he dresses up as a bat at the fancy dress party, I hope they do that. That'd be cool. But I mean, overall, I would just be happy for any figures from the movie. Anything new at this point. I'm tired of the new what we got. I'm ready for new.
Yeah, definitely.
Even though I love what I have.
Yeah, definitely ready for some new stuff now. can't wait for the new DC collectible stuff dropping next month, isn't it? As well, some of the I think like
Yeah,
I think it's the Azrael and the Deathstroke. I think the first.
That sounds about right.
Or is it? No, it might be the Azrael and Red Hood actually, but it's two of those anyway that are dropping first, which is a bit weird. You think they'd do them in fours, wouldn't you? As a wave, but they're doing it in twos apparently.
You would think.
But this is DC. This is DC directionless, as you call them. So
yes,
we don't know what's going to happen.
We'll be happy if they actually release them on the days they said they.
Yeah, so hopefully they'll come out very soon. But yeah, it's kind of quiet for now, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably go out and hunt today. Do a little look-see, see if any Target employee accidentally put out anything too early. That's always fun. In terms of figures, though, do you have a new figure of the week?
Yes, my figure of the week this week is a figure I've mentioned before. It's Justice League Batman. I haven't named him as figure of the week yet. I was tempted to go for this guy because I recently got a new diorama and we're taking pictures of him and the mutant leader. But
nice.
I'm going to go for this guy because I've been rewatching the series again lately and it just reaffirms my belief that Justice League is my favourite ever. So yeah, I'm going to go for Justice League Batman. It's just so cool. How about you?
I am going to go with the Beast
nice.
Kingdom.
Great figure.
Movie Justice League Flash. I just think it's a really well done figure for a face sculpt for this size. I think it looks phenomenal, and it's just something I really like. It just feels cool in your hand, I guess.
Yeah,
it feels like it.
Figure.
Feels like it won't break. It balances well. Looks like the Flash. Hopefully, we get a movie of him. But if not, oh well, I like the figure.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a great shot. That and yeah, he's an epic figure. Really is. He looks perfectly like Ezra Miller, and can't wait for his new movie as well.
Which I think is going to be somehow Flashpoint related to bring Batman into this universe. But we'll see.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. I hope it is. It'd be so cool to see him back.
Cool.
And we've seen strong rumours of Henry Cavill is going to be in the new Shazam movie as well, which is great. I hope that happens.
I thought you were going to say Wolverine for a second. I was like, how dare you?
Oh, no. I know, I've seen that. Just because he's got a hairy chest doesn't mean he has to be Wolverine.
Yeah.
But,
there are other hairy actors.
Yeah, I really hope that happens. I've seen that he's supposed to be under control of Mr. Mind and he comes to fight Shazam. I think that'd be an epic way to bring him back in to the universe. And, you know, with The Rock coming into that as well, with Black Adam, yeah, it'd be perfect. Because, yeah, you've got like the Superman cameo to bring him in at the end of Shazam, and then he fights Shazam in the movie after. Then it comes into Black Adam for the big showdown in the third movie. That would be just perfect trilogy of Shazam movies. Fantastic.
The perfect Superman sequel we never got.
Yeah. I can just tell that they're going to bottle it and they won't do it. And it'll be a Mr. Mind and Dr. Savannah movie again. You just know it's going to happen, but it would be great if they did a Superman movie. Just DC, they just bottle these big decisions that would make sense and go for something easy and boring.
Yeah, all the best decisions always seem to be the ones that they cut out. But
yeah.
All right. Was that any final words before we wrap up?
No, but thank you to everybody for listening, and thanks for all the questions from people as well. It means a lot. Glad so many people got involved. 24 questions are brilliant. 24 good questions as well.
Yes, there were more, but we had to filter. The ones that made sense were the ones that were inappropriate.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Like what Scott said, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And this is an extra large size episode, so don't know if we'll have a guest, but we hope you guys enjoyed nonetheless. And hopefully we'll have some new plastic. Hopefully McFarlane and all the other companies oblige us and allow us to spend our hard-earned pay on plastic.
And we'll have to get those figure ratings done as well for the animated.
Oh, yeah.
Idea. That's a cool idea.
That'll have to be probably our next big show. Yeah. All right. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Bye.